Hello and welcome to the 14th episode of my Harbinger developer commentary. Today we are going to be finishing off the Gréen Wul area, which we kind of poked our head into and managed to die in last episode. But let's begin by going and placing these 3 wool on the monument. It annoys me that you take damage on that, but I think that's a Minecraft bug and not a me bug. So you can see that bedrock box at the bottom. That's basically because beacons... I don't think it's possible to do beacon beams without actual beacons. And thankfully, beacon light shines through bedrock, so you can't actually see it. But obviously, you can still see the bedrock, which is a bit of a shame. But considering that, the whole point of this is that you can't really see any of it. I could have put an island or something around it. Maybe that would have been a better way, but hey. Oh well, right, let's place down the 3 wool that we have, and then we are up to, I actually don't want these different colours wools. So we're down to the last 3, so green, red and black, and hopefully we will get one of those in this episode. Let's bring that with us as well. Yeah, so this episode, we're going into the Gréen Wul area. I didn't set my spawn in green, unfortunately, so we will have to actually run over there, but thanks to super speedy axe, it shouldn't take too long. Yeah, I'm glad that we didn't lose this. In between the episodes, I farmed up some more golden carrots when mined out some more gold, and I also... Is it this one? No, it's up here. Whoops. I also did a little bit of enchanting and repairing. So I have now got Protection 3 chestplate. Spent all my levels on that, basically. So we're Protection 3, Protection 3, Protection 2, and Feather Falling 4, and Mending. I also gathered up all the bookcases for a full enchanting setup, but I actually don't have enough levels and I don't have a mob farm, so I haven't actually used it at all yet, but that may well change. Right, so here we are at the Gréen Wul area, and let's try and be a bit more careful. Last time I was a bit cavalier because I didn't really feel like I was starting the area properly until I had died. I'm lagging a little bit. I think that's just... hopefully that'll slow down. I don't know what render distance I'm on. Yeah, we're on 6, so hopefully it all just kind of levels out as we play. I knew there was a spawner somewhere. And let's get rid of that as well. Oh, a chest. Yeah, so you can get some extra blocks. We'll take the glazed terracotta, why not? Just for aesthetic purposes, can always chuck it away again. And we should hopefully have no trouble getting down here, because we did a pretty good job of clearing this last time. I do want that arrow. I still haven't got a skeleton farm, and I can hear strays, which I don't know where he came from, but nice little lag spike. That lag spike is the sort that will get me killed if I'm not careful. Right, so we... Obviously the wool is that way, and actually, I didn't... Because of the short render distance, I don't think I actually really showed off what this looks like if you're playing through properly. So I'll just kind of... I don't know... It's meant to be thunder. I don't know why that didn't activate, but let's put that on and let's bump up the render distance. And I'll just kind of show, because this is one of the screenshots that I used in the map originally when I was promoting it. So the idea is you kind of come through this forest, and then you see this vista of the temple, the church, or whatever you want to call it. Let's actually lower the fog slightly. There's a sort of ideal range where the fog sort of surrounds the that's not it. Let's go with 13 chunks. Yeah, so you kind of get this vista of the church kind of ominously in the background, with the floating islands and the rain and everything. I just think that's one of the cooler views in the map, especially when the thunder goes and you kind of get it lit up. I think that's just like awesome. But yeah, sorry, that was a quick sidetrack, but I kind of wanted to point that out because it was something I was quite proud of. Yeah, so let's go to survival, and let's head across this bridge this time. It's always hard to tell on a bridge like this what's torchable and what isn't. Right, these axe strays are no longer really a threat, but I still have to kill them. Especially because they will knock me off if they can. Let's just get out into the middle of the bridge and then see if any of them are following us. No, I think we're fine. I'd quite like to work with a mechanic that made rain actually slightly more dangerous than it is. At the moment, yeah, rain is sort of just an aesthetic thing, and I'd quite like to do something where maybe when you've been in rain in the last 5 seconds, your max health goes down by a certain percentage or something. I think that would be a fun, like, environmental hazard. I've been playing a lot of Mass Effect 3 multiplayer recently, which is quite a niche reference perhaps, but there's a section in that, or there's a map in that where they basically remix some of the maps. So it's exactly the same map, except there's an additional hazard to it. So one of them is just darker, and not dark enough that it really matters, so that one's not great. But in others, there's like a ball that flies around. It's quite a small map, and yeah, the ball flies around and it will kill you or strip your shields if you get too close to it. We'll take those apples, thank you. Yeah, I'm not going to go and explore that, but it's there. I'm going to leave, there's a few things in green that you can explore if you want to, and I'm going to just leave them mostly. But yeah, because I want to give you a reason to play through, but there's an optional water dungeon towards the back of the area that I may or may not do. We'll see how we're doing for time in this episode. Yeah, but sorry, another one of the hazards is that it periodically rains in the level, and if it's raining, then that rain will do you damage. It will get rid of your shields, and so you sort of have to move between houses and move quickly between the like undercover sections of the map. And it also just makes the map look a lot cooler as well. I've explained that pretty badly, but it's something I'd quite like to have a go at doing in Minecraft. And I'm sure you could do it without too much difficulty, actually, if you were better with commands than me. So I might have a go at putting that together. And I sort of want to do some tutorials on commands, because I think that there's a gap for it, particularly for like CTM creators. Yeah, and the video actually that's done the best in my of my videos is my making a CTM map, when I was kind of talking about the first release of this map and making it and everything. So I think there is like a demand for CTM content beyond, and particularly CTM creation content beyond just the CTM community, and particularly the Discord. I think sometimes we're a bit bad about reaching that, because we assume that the people who are interested in CTMs are everyone who's in the Discord, and I think that's actually not really true. Particularly, like, I know when I was going back. There's a lot of playthroughs of CTM maps, but not so much content about like actually making them. So yeah, that's something I kind of want to make more of. That was Trey bad. I'm surprised he didn't die in 3 hits though with this axe, because I guess this axe doesn't actually do much more damage. It's pretty bad on creepers because it's got Bane of Arthropods and Smite. So it will take out zombies and spiders pretty well, but creepers it's pretty terrible. Doesn't matter too much because we can just let them blow up, like so. And I can hear a lot of strays beginning to spawn. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so strays die in 2 hits, but creepers, not so much. Let's get rid of that spawner. Yeah, there are better weapons in the map than this axe, but because this is given kind of before in section 4, it's yeah not meant to be the most powerful weapon in the map. And I quite like that it's not just, you know, you don't just get it and then be able to ignore absolutely every other bit of loot. Right, let's come out this way. I think it does have slightly boosted attack damage, but maybe not enough for it to really be good against creepers. So there's some more potion stuff. So if you've somehow managed to not have potions by this point, you can make some regen potions with that pretty easily. I think, is that it for this island? It seems like it. Yeah, so not too much to be gained from coming through those caves, but still. Right, how do I want to get? What I'm going to do, rather than go back through, is just swim down here. And yeah, if you do want to explore, there are some boats here, so you know that's a good option, and it sort of hopefully encourages you to go and explore what's that way and what's towards the back of the area as well. And I may actually grab a boat just to take with me. Get rid of some of this junk as well. Yeah, there we go. Let's take our hatchet. And there we go. Yeah, so I'd quite like to have a go at making some more kind of CTM content and tutorial stuff. Tutorials, I think, would mostly be for people in CTM community. So if there's anything you want to see, let me know and I will try and make them. The challenge there is obviously that I have to be, thank you, feather falling. The challenge obviously is that I have to be able to do the thing that I'm going to tutorialize. And for instance, command stuff, which is something that I would really like to see tutorials of, I'm not very good at. So yeah, but I think if I learn it in order to teach it, that would also be beneficial to me as a mapper. And especially because I think my next map is not going to be a CTM map. I'm quite happy for it to be. I'm quite happy to learn stuff that's maybe more relevant for, or equally relevant for, like adventure maps and stuff. Right, let's get rid of the spawner and get rid of you. Yeah, so we can claim this island. No flame arrow that we'd left over that way. Right, let's come down here and try and take on the the actual point of this area. Let's light these up as well before we spend too much time dealing with this guy. Yeah, good. He's gone. He's gone down. Right. I don't know if slowness arrows do less damage or not, because I noticed I was hitting him with slowness and vexes. We do not like those. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that is a vex spawner. So I'm just going to run away from it and hope that we don't have to deal with it. I should maybe get my... Oh no, I don't actually think this is a... I don't know if these are from spawners or whether it's just an actual pillager raid. But let's try and get rid of the spawners regardless. And let's come up here actually. Oh, that's not the way to go. I'm going to retreat and try and fight these with my bow. Yeah, this is the problem with the axe not being very good against anything that isn't smite or bane. Let's eat a couple of these. Yeah, I think I'm not going to be able to take this on if I only have that. Another one of those wraiths. I'm not going to be able to take this area on with just his axe. So what I'm going to do is get my boat and flee like the coward that I am. Over this way. And we can come and explore this mini bonus area. So yeah, I try to include a couple of these like things in green because it's such a big like cavern. I accidentally broke that log because of how quick this axe is. Efficiency gold tools are pretty crazy actually. And there is an efficiency gold pick somewhere in the map, so I'll keep an eye out for that one. But what I think is up here is a sword that I'm going to try and take. And I'm not sure what the best weapon in the map is. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the best weapon in the map is. There goes all the paintings. But Beldroth's Blade 4 is probably up there. And so is this thing. So let's have a look at it quickly. It is... Fire Aspect 5, Knockback 5, Looting 5, Mending 5, Sharpness 7, and it's got boosted attack damage, I think. So, yeah, it's pretty insane. I don't know if it gives you extra speed. I don't think it gives you quite as much as the hatchet does, but it's been a long time since I actually made these weapons. So, yeah, let's just make a dash for it. Yeah, it definitely doesn't have the same speed boost as the axe does, but hey, it's gonna do us proud in the wool area, I think. So I'm trying to think how I want to go back up. I think the easiest way is probably to go round to the other one of these that is around the other side and climb up from there. I could also just pillar up from out front here, but you know. Yeah, so you kind of get a feel for this cavern a bit more as we sail around, I hope. Right. And there's some boats here as well, just in case you do want to go and explore that lit up area at the back. Hint, hint. Right, we've been recording for 20 minutes and we still haven't made it inside the church, so that's, you know, a good sign. But I want to keep it to one episode, or one wool per episode, because that way I can make a really easy list for people to say, like, if you want to look at a certain video about a specific area, here is that cheat list, basically. That sounds like a Vex, yeah. They're so hard to hit because of the way they move. At least when they start flying towards you, you can actually aim at them pretty easily. Right, yeah, so we don't have the speed boost anymore, but we do have a weapon that can actually do some damage to these guys, which is a good sign. Let's get rid of that spawner. And let's just do this. I didn't know they were immune to fire. I need to find that Vex spawner, really. Is there a spawner up there? Yep. And there's probably one up here that I've... No, there isn't actually. Right, we're running low on torches, which I do have coal and wood, but worth bearing in mind. Yeah, and the inside of this area leaves a bit to be desired, I think. Like aesthetically, it's pretty cool. I think I like how big it is, and I like this central area. But I think it would be good to have this central area like down a few blocks, and then yeah, have this central area down a few blocks, and have so that you kind of changed elevation a bit. I think that just makes it much more interesting to run around. Because it's so big and flat, you just end up doing a lot of this. Yeah, and there's those scythe-wielding enemies to deal with in a second. Because it's so flat, you just end up running around and torch spamming and then retreating, which is a perfectly valid way of doing the area, because the area is designed like that effectively. But I think there are better ways to design areas now that... And you could have the cool aesthetic of the outside without it being quite as empty inside. And it's difficult to do grand. There's definitely a skill to do grand and interesting. Whereas this, I think, is grand and a bit empty. Is probably how I would, being harsh, how I would describe the area. But I still think it looks amazing, especially from the outside. So, yeah. And let's come up here. In fact, I'm going to clear the floor first, and then we can go... There are two ways to go. You can go up or down. There are probably 6 ways to go: forwards, backwards, left, right, up or down. But this dungeon is... thanks to us living in 3 dimensions, it's a crazy time. However, this dungeon is very much built around, you can either go down here or you can go up the other way. How is he tracking me through the wall? That's interesting. Or I wonder if he was tracking me through the wall or whether he's just randomly walking. But it does seem like he was aiming towards me specifically. And let's block off this. Like so. So hopefully we can deal with the rest of this. And there are the Vindicators. Yeah, they're definitely tracking me through the wall, which I think is really interesting. Right, let's run out this way a bit, because we're beginning to get swarmed there. The Vex spawner, yeah. Ancient Cleaver. And I'd like to also learn how to do like custom sword textures and stuff. I think those do add to the feel of an area. Where have you spawned from? That's very rude. Right, I am going to pause the recording for just a second because I need to take a quick break, but I'll be back in just a moment. Sorry about that. Let's carry on with this dungeon now. I see those Vexes. I didn't see that spider though. And the problem with the Vexes is more just it makes it harder for you to run away. Thankfully, our bow seems to take them out pretty easily. And I think we did get the spawner, so hopefully we don't have too much trouble. Let's make some extra torches. Right, where is that? Where is that spider coming from? Yeah, so there's a couple of spider spawners in this like dropped area, but because spiders I don't think actually offer that much of a threat at this point, I'm just going to leave them where they are. And let's just clear out this area finally. Grab that chest. Just some bread, so not particularly useful. And before everything starts spawning down below, or before too much stuff starts spawning down below, let's make our way down. There we go. So hopefully we can get a little bit further. Now we have made it into the first room, and you have to be pretty careful with creepers in this room because evokers. Let's just get rid of that and then run over this way. I need to run away because I'm about to die. They're spawning in the wall there. That's good of them. Yeah, so evokers are still pretty scary. Because Vexes you can't really just hide from. Eat another golden apple. Thankfully, we do have quite a lot of these. Where? Yeah, I need to kill this evoker really. Is that the only other evoker? Let's hope so. Yeah, so if you let those evokers go for too long, you just get swarmed by these vexes. So you really have to be pretty quick on the draw with them. But this is the third to last area in the map, so yeah, and the only other. So this still offers a decent challenge, but you know. They remind me a lot of Peeves from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets game. The bow is probably the best way to deal with them, and not the sword. Just the way they fly around and make those noises and everything. Yeah, you have to be careful with creepers in this area because the floor is one thick and it has lava beneath it. So just a heads up on that. Yeah, skeleton AI or stray AI in this case is not great. So we're just directly beneath the that was so bad. I really just wanted to get rid of the spawner, which we did at least do. So yeah, I'll re-gear and head back that way. Hello and welcome to the second part of my episode 14 for my Harbinger developer commentary. If you look at the death count and a couple of other things on my hotbar, you can probably tell that quite a lot has happened between this episode and or between this part and the first part. I had basically my recording corrupted and I lost about half an hour of footage, which involved me falling into the void just before getting the green wool, and then running back with a couple of ender pearls, managing to get the green wool, dying to some strays, and basically not having any gear left. So what I've been kind of doing is I managed to get the green wool back. I did manage to salvage it, so I have got the green wool, but I did need to recover from that death. So I'm just in the gold mine or gold and iron mine in section 4, gathering up some iron and some gold to make some gear with. I've used up most of my iron. I've still got a little bit left, but I figure as this is here, I may as well use it. And yeah, let's just gather up a little bit more and then we'll get out of here and I'll go and show you. I've also been off camera. I finally gave in and made a mob farm in the green wool area, so we will have arrows, we will have experience, and we can get some properly enchanted iron gear to take on the red wool area with. So I'll show that off, and I'll also show I'll kind of show off the actual wool area in green, because obviously we didn't manage to finish that. There's a lot of iron down here. There's pretty much as much as you would ever need in the map. If you were desperate to make zombie village or to make an iron farm, you probably could do that. But actually, I don't know if you could, because I suppose you could use the if you'd saved a villager spawner in. Let's get rid of that because I'm definitely going to fall on that. If you got rid of if you saved a villager spawner, sorry, in purple, then you could convert some of those, I suppose. But yeah, here we are, back above ground in green. So if we come over this way, I'm actually going to hop into Spectator probably and fly through some of it. There's also, I wasn't going to do the optional water dungeon in green, just wasn't going to bother showing it off and leave it for something, but as I'm in need of a good sword and a good bow, I may change my mind on that and head in there. Or I may just enchant a bow and a sword, but we'll see. But yeah, so if we come down here, I will just show you my mob farm that I've been working on. Just a pretty standard spawner trap. Thankfully I didn't get rid of the... well, thankfully and unthankfully, if that's the right way of saying it. Thankfully I didn't get rid of these two spawners, because I have been able to turn them into a spawner trap, but they were also the strays that killed me on my way back with the Gréen Wul, so... and there was another death as well, so it's in one of these kind of alcove things. There was another death as well that came from actually making this mob farm. I didn't have it torched up well enough, and some strays spawned whilst I wasn't really wearing any armour, and they killed me. Yeah, so the plan is the strays fall here, and this doesn't have a hopper or anything, it's just for me to put stuff in. But yeah, I kind of dug out here, made a enchanting table, made some bookshelves, there's some iron. I'm going to make a furnace here, although I don't know if I've got any coal with me to actually smelt this, but let's just make up a couple of furnaces. Yeah, and so this goes all the way around, so once I'm ready to actually turn it on, I will just break these purple concrete blocks, and they have torches on the other side as well. Did I bring any? No, it doesn't look like I've got any wood either. Oh well. Right, let's just put these down in the wall. And yeah, let's show this quickly. So I've dug this out, and the way it works is just pretty standard. Obviously you drop down here and then onto here, and there's a water source there that pushes you over, so there will probably be a stray stood on this pressure plate most of the time, but they will push, the next one will push them in, and the water streams there. Oh, this will kill me if I do it, so let's switch into Spectator quickly. I could have fought that or something, but it's easier. So yeah, there's holes here and here which pull the mob in to the water stream, so it stops them getting stuck on there with their head on that gap. Yeah, so that's the spawner trap that I made. So I will now probably turn it on. Let's just do that. Right, so let's block up this. So I need to grab my purple concrete. Ooh. Let's just replace it with purple concrete. Why not? It's the only colour in the area. Hopefully we don't get shot by any strays as we're doing this. Hear them spawning now, so hopefully I haven't missed any torches. I guess I'll check when I break the last piece of concrete. And it's been quite fun making this actually. It's kind of more like being in someone else's CTM or in a single player survival thing or something. Right, it should now be pretty much completely dark in there. That's good. So now we should hopefully see some strays here that we can maybe not punch to death, but yeah, get most of with our sword. And we get slowness arrows, regular arrows, and bones from them as well. So yeah, I will probably in between this clip and the next one, you will see me, or you won't see me, but I will grind out some experience here, AFK for a bit and gather up all that. But yeah, rather than kind of show most of that on camera, what I do want to do is fly over to the actual wool area and just kind of talk about this dungeon. We'll take on the top half of it later in this episode, along with the optional water area. But the kind of bottom half is a fairly simple design, dungeon-wise. So basically, so this is from where I broke down and then ender pearl to the wool. And you can sort of see how I ended up getting knocked off because I was using one wide concrete platforms. Yeah, but here's the wool. Can't actually look because I've placed a block on top of the chest, but there's 2 wool blocks inside there now, and it's kind of hanging from one of these bars. Well, from 3 of these bars actually. I really like these chains. I think that's a fun thing, but I would probably make them out of a different block next time. Possibly something more colourful or glass or something, because they stand out more. I think here they're just a bit bland, perhaps, especially in this kind of perfectly circular shaft downwards. I don't know, maybe a bit of irregularity would have been a bit more interesting, but yeah, this is, I think, a nice way to do a floating wool box. And there was a stray spawner on top, which is what killed me in the end. So yeah, we kind of missed this bit, I think. And it's just that there's 3 of these rooms, each with different spawners in. The first room's the hardest, I think, with the evokers, and then the vindicator in the second one. And I can't quite remember what's in this third one, but it doesn't offer too much of a challenge, really, as long as you deal with the strays slightly better than I did, then you should be fine. Ender pearling to the wool is by far the best way. I tried not to do it because it's a bit cheap, possibly, but yeah, a stray spawned behind here that I didn't see, and then came out and shot me as I was bridging across. So it's a bit annoying that I lost that footage, or that, yeah, that footage got corrupted. I managed to salvage the first part of the episode, but everything after that frustratingly didn't survive, so not much I can do other than apologise and try and make sure it doesn't happen again. But yeah, I think now I am going to go and AFK for some experience, get some armour, and then we'll take on the rest of this area over this way. Okay, I've been doing some enchanting and putting different tools together. So we are now pretty set to take on, well, the next couple of areas. So we've got a Fortune 2 pick, which will be nice for the next area. Looting 3 Sharpness 4 sword with knockback and fire aspect. The only thing we'd want on there is Sweeping Edge. A Silk Touch axe, which isn't very useful. And I combined a couple of bows dropped by the strays to give this power 4 Unbreaking 3 bow. Had pretty bad luck on swords. It looks like I only enchanted 4. I actually combined a few to get this one, which is a really good backup sword, but I think Sharpness is generally better than Smite, even though Smite does give a higher damage boost. We may take Smite to the next area, because I don't think it's that creeper heavy, and creepers are the main issue. And also got a lot of Bane swords, which was a bit annoying, but, you know, we'll get through. Got a Silk Touch pick, got a decent chunk of armour. I wanted some Feather Falling boots, but yeah, still no joy on that front. I may enchant another sword, because if we can get a Sharpness 4 sword, we can make ours Sharpness 5. Just knock back 2. Well, let's put a level 1 enchant on, just so we can get another roller. And Unbreaking 3 boots. I might just I'll see how much these give me. No, it doesn't take me up to level 30, so I'm not going to bother with putting an Unbreaking enchantment on there. I've been letting most of the loot despawn, because otherwise you just get your whole inventory full of these. But I did collect up some of the arrows and bones and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's everything I wanted to show there. So now we are pretty well geared, and I'm gonna head into the back into the green, into the actual temple. Yeah, it's a bit frustrating that I lost so much of the recording, but you know, it happens sometimes. I don't know if it's me not knowing how to use OBS, or whether it's just my computer being a bit crap, but who knows. I'm not going to worry too much about it. It's just a bit of a shame, because I think it was some of the more entertaining content of the developer commentary, seeing me die, and then have the half a heart escape from the wool box after I'd ender pearled down to it, or near escape. I actually died right where that stray spawner was. But yeah, we should be able to get through this section pretty easily now. The upstairs isn't too long, and then once we're done with that, we will take on the underwater dungeon just very quickly, because otherwise this episode is going to be a bit short, I think. So let's come... Yeah, so if you come out this way, you kind of get this nice view over the temple, and I don't know, maybe a big chandelier or something would have been nice. This area is a bit of a wasted potential, I think, because in some ways it's the best looking area from the initial vista, but I think it could have been better overall, probably. Right. That is just really annoying. Broken ladders are bad. I have come around. I mean, aesthetically, I think they make more sense. What's even worse is when the map maker just mirrors it on the other side as well. Awful. Not too difficult, though. It was only one ladder missing, at least. Thankfully, it wasn't. That isn't a glowing charge creeper, because I don't have a shield. I always forget something. And now I'm throwing my sword on the floor. I could make a shield. I'm probably just going to risk it. Holes in the roof are bad as well. Let's chuck those into our offhand. If we do not have a shield, we may as well. And we do get some blocks, which is nice. And I can't do the thing with the where you just let them blow up the spawner, because I don't have a shield. I do think non-shield combat is just far more fun, and far more balanced, because it just lets you... It makes it's easier to balance. So I think my next map will be shieldless, probably. The reason I didn't do that on this map is that I kind of wanted to feel like the older Super Hostiles, where it was sort of vanilla but harder. And I think that shields are such a key part of... Yeah, so we get the rebreather level 2. Shields are such a key part of vanilla combat that it felt a bit weird to take shields out. But yeah, I do think that if you're going to go down the non-vanilla combat route, having other offhand items is a much better way of doing it. And I don't have feather falling, so I do not want to fall all the way down, but I may well end up doing so. Let's work our way up this tower. And there isn't too much point in exploring this tower, because I know what's at the top, and it is something that I'm not collecting, which is the emeralds, but still, I kind of wanted to show it off. Let's just come down like this instead of risking falling all the way down the middle. So yeah, just in case you were curious about what's up top here, there isn't too much to it, but Still kind of glad we explored it. I can still hear that stray. I don't know where he is, which is kind of unnerving. I do give a slow falling potion though, so we'll take that and just fall down, I suppose. Do we take any damage? No, we don't. That's nice. I've never really used slow falling, obviously, but there we go. Right, let's get rid of you, and you. Let's put on you, and then let's head out this way and just dig through the wall. Let's re-equip this. I kind of wanted to do a catacombs or something, either for this area or, I mean, I sort of did one in black, but I was planning on it being much longer. But it just kind of got to the point where black was already quite a long area, and I didn't really want to do too much more work on it. Let's fall out this way. I quite like this slow falling. It's good fun. I might make an area built around it at some point, but we'll see. Right. And let's jump in this boat and head over to, if we can remember how boats work in this game, head over to this hole. There are 3 holes back here, and I think going for the middle one is probably going to be the fastest way to get through the area. So yeah, let's go. Get into our swimming, and I'm just going to swim past everything. I don't think it's worth doing anything else. We do have pretty good armor, but still, trying to break blocks, even with Aqua Affinity, is a challenge at times. Right, where am I going? I have a feeling I may have already missed. Oh no. It's not, I mean, there are only 3 paths, but the kelp can make it a bit difficult to keep track of exactly where you want to go. But yeah, we come out, and this is the final water dungeon. So slightly larger than some of the others. I really like these chains. So I made these. I designed them in creative, just like straight, and then used the rotate filter for MC Edit that Adrian Brightmore made, and I made these giant chains, and with MC Edit it's much easier to kind of copy them in and everything. So you've got these enormous chains, which I think look really cool, and I don't know if anyone else particularly loved this area. It's one of my favourite areas, actually, despite some obvious flaws, that it is just a big swimming area. But because swimming's so quick, actually, I don't mind it too much, because you can get to where you need to go without even facing the Elder Guardians, really. Let's break in here before I get mining fatigue. I should find the middle some point. Or not. Well, maybe I'll just... Huh, where is the entrance? I was sure it was... And there goes the mining fatigue. Right. I do not know where the entrance to this... There it is. I should probably have put a light or something in. I thought it was on the other side, but... Oh no, that's just the hole I dug in. Oh, I haven't really played through this water dungeon very often, because it isn't really a combat dungeon, so there isn't that much to balance. But apparently I should have played through it more, because I'm struggling to find... There it is. Yeah, I should have got that sooner. I don't know how I didn't. And we'll take Beldroth's bow and Beldroth's blade, despite having spent all that time just making another sword. you know, it's a bonus. And now we can get out of here. Yeah, so I did spend a lot of time enchanting other swords, but at least now we've got some backups, because I do think I'm going to die in red and black at least a couple of times, so it's nice to have some spares. And there are lots of spawners here, which I do know a couple of people died in this area, but I think if you just decide to swim, because there's no trident drowns, so if you decide to just swim past everything, you probably will get through pretty safely. The Guardians can be threatening, but generally aren't too bad, I think, and the drowns without tridents are just a bit of a joke. But we came out a different way than we got in here, so let's try and swim back to our boat. And that is basically everything for green. So yeah, this is just to kind of show this off. Yeah, so I had quite a lot of trouble making the surrounding cave for this area, because it's so big, and I sort of built it and then tried to plan. So you can see the erosion and everything is a bit messy, particularly at the top. These lower bits I did with World Edit and a gravel brush, so you can imagine how long that took. But then the upper half was more difficult, because World Edit doesn't really handle that side of things very easily, and at the time I didn't have I think I was mostly mapping with World Edit at that stage. So I think it's a good looking area despite some issues. I mean, you can also see some bits that just didn't really get eroded, or got eroded in quite like bad ways. I don't know what those snow blocks are doing, but hey. But yeah, it is what it is, I think. How do we get back out? I like this bridge as well. I think that's quite nice. I like the islands a lot. It's basically, there's a few different islands, and I pasted them in different places, but I think that looks good. Vines cover up all manner of sins, which is something I think Vex knew for a long time, and I have taken on board fully, because they look really cool, and they're a good way of covering up flaws. So yeah, I think next time we will take on the Red Wall dungeon. I am going to move some stuff over back to our main base from the... Oh, I've still got mining fatigue. That is very annoying. So I will move some stuff over from our from this enchanting station, and move all our gear over to the intersection, so that we've got some spares. And yeah, this is the outside of it. It looks brilliant, doesn't it? So I'll move some gear over so that we've got spares. I will possibly do a bit more enchanting and use up these 30 levels that I've basically got, and see if I can come up with anything good. But yeah, I'll do that off camera. So that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Apologies for the gaps in the area. Nothing I can do about that, really. I didn't have a backup from before green, so I can't replay it or anything. It's all just a bit frustrating, but yeah, thank you for watching regardless, and I will see you next time. That's my Bluetooth speaker. Apologies. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.